Going live. Your Hangout is now live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to I think the seventh edition of the Social Media Addicts podcast. I'm Seth, and this is Jody with Jody Rains. Most of you might know her from the A2SM podcast. It used to be in the past that we were on together. Barry's currently 30,000 feet in the air, flying back from California. He'll be on maybe next Thursday. Maybe we're going to try and do this more often. But I'm happy to welcome Jody to the show. She's our newest co-host. She adds some good looks to our gangly crowd here. So we need someone who's cute and smart. So that's why we have Jody here. So say hi, Jody.
Hi, Jody.
Oh God. And tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Oh, you mean the stuff that's suitable to tell?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am a former co-host with Seth. We used to do a podcast together and have been longing to do something together for many years. We've been friends for almost forever. Let's see, what can I tell you that's suitable for prime time? I do. What do you want to know?
She's the president and CEO of WebMarcom, a social media marketing company in New Jersey.
Right.
She works for the state of New Jersey.
Yes, and I also spend a lot of time with the dogs because my life is going to the dogs, and have been doing some training. I have a couple of Belgian Malinois. Malinois, yes, one who I do search and rescue with, and the other who she's a little fashion maven, and recently very excited to report that she just won her championship title.
Woo!
So, yeah, from time to time, I'm sure I'll be sharing little tidbits about the dog world with everyone. But
I'm sure
we got that going on. Yep.
You'll hear them in the background any second now.
Well, they're outside. But the other thing that's cool is I also ride a Harley. So for those who enjoy the road on two wheels, we'll probably intersperse a little bit of that in the show as we go along.
There you go. There you go. So this week, while Barry's gallivanting around the U.S., crossing the country, we're going to talk. Excuse me.
Yeah, that too.
I'm joking myself here. We're going to talk about the Facebook social experiment. I know it's been pretty much exhausted in the news, but we're going to talk about it a little bit, and we're also going to talk about how you can buy stuff from your Facebook feed. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it right for disaster, or is it right up your alley? So that's coming up right now. So also, please make sure if you like the show. I know we've been kind of sporadic in our editions here, but we're hoping to get them more active now that we have Jody, who's a little bit less of a jet setter than Barry, on board.
Hey, come on, I'm a jet setter.
You're more of a motorcycler. Anyhow,
okay.
Well, our idea is to probably get this bi-weekly, if not weekly again, like we did with the A2SM podcast, and Barry will pop on as he can from wherever he is in the world. But if you'd like to support us, go over to Patreon, patreon.com, look up Social Media Addicts podcast, and you can pledge 5 cents an episode. It helps us get stuff started, helps us get Barry a better webcam, because if you've watched past episodes, his webcam stinks. Jody always looks good, even if she's pixelated. But she has a good camera on hers. So thank you, Jody, for that.
Well,
and
you know what?
yeah,
Maybe in the future we can also buy Barry some coffee, so he can, be energized and enthusiastic. And
he's always energized and enthusiastic. He's very enthusiastic and energetic. But actually, I don't think we want to give him coffee. We might give him a little too hyper. But anyhow, so let's on to the show. So Jody, Facebook around 2 years ago, 2012. So that was actually 3 years ago. I think, if I'm at this correct, which is always wrong.
No, it's 2014, so it's 2.
Yes, it's 2 years ago. Facebook let some sociologists muck around with the feed. They showed a few 100,000 people negative or positive articles from their friends, posts from their friends, and they saw they wanted to see what the people who got these negative or positive posts, how they would post, and they saw that people who got predominantly negative post negatively, and vice versa for positive. A lot a lot of people were not very happy with the fact that they were played around with on Facebook, that Facebook would do this to them and allow this to happen. It wasn't the terms of service, but who reads terms of services? I mean, it is our fault for not reading them.
I think the thing that a lot of people took exception to, if there was this experiment that ostensibly there was that they were actually changing the news feed. They were changing things that, like, they were showing me things that maybe you never said that could have been very negative to try to see if I was going to react to it. So
Really?
somebody,
They showed things that were fake?
yes,
Oh,
they
that's even
they
worse.
what they said was that the number of positive and negative comments that Facebook users saw on their feeds and the different articles, it was artificially altered.
Right.
And so basically what they were doing was manipulating what the posts were.
So that's not good. That's really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you've kind of figure, and it's kind of funny, and I think it might even be a little bit generational, but it seems like the really younger people just implicitly trust that Facebook is looking out for them. And, you see a lot of them posting things that people who are of an older generation look at and they say, "Wow, why would you even think about posting that?"
Yeah.
And they're a little bit, the older generation I think is a little bit more privacy oriented. And I don't know. I mean, do you think it's a generational difference?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I think that also a lot of the younger generations aren't on Facebook. They're not on Facebook because that's where their moms and dads are. That's. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's the old
I'm sure your
people's,
daughter's not on Facebook because you're there. Or if
right?
she's on there, she's not posting what she's really saying. She's saying that stuff on Snapchat. I mean, let's be honest. It's not as I know my younger sister who's 18 going to college. She barely posts on Facebook. She's Instagramming. She's on
Yeah,
Instagram.
a lot of kids are Instagramming, and Instagram is a I think it's a great platform. Do you use it a lot, Seth?
I use it up time to time. I use the videos a good amount. Now that it works on my Motorola X, I can actually go in there and use it. It was a little buggy at the beginning, but I use it. I post questions up there, or I post social media thoughts and stuff, and I take pictures of the kid. And so if you follow me, I'm Philly Codehound on Instagram, so you can follow me and see that kind of stuff. Jody, I don't see you that with that much, do you?
What, Instagram? I use it practically every day.
You do?
Oh yeah.
I never
Yeah.
see you on my feed.
Well, you
Huh.
know what? See, that's another thing because we know that Facebook manipulates the feed.
Yeah, that's what it
So
is.
yeah, and it has to do with that edge rank, and you see
Hmm.
less and less things. I get frustrated because there's some people that I don't even think of following them, like actually going out and like stalk following them,
Oh, that's
But
wonderful.
I am curious to see what my friends are up to. So, you know
Yeah,
what?
but I mean, are you talking about Facebook or are you talking about Instagram?
No, well, Facebook. Well, my Instagram pictures show up in Facebook.
Oh, and then I do see your Instagram photos. I just don't always. I haven't been on Instagram for a little while just because I post on there, but I don't sit on there as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
ultimately, I can't believe that Facebook would let this happen, and it's kind of offensive that they would let us be their guinea pigs. But do we expect anything less, Jody?
Well, interestingly enough, okay, there have been other studies that have been done, but not so much where they manipulated the feed, but experiments where they felt that, just being on Facebook actually makes us feel sadder and less satisfied. Um, you know, Part of it is you see all of your friends and they're posting all these wonderful things they're doing or the great relationships they're in, or the vacation they just came back from. And
Hmm.
it makes people start thinking about their life and perhaps feeling that they're not living that kind of a life. You have to realize these are just pictures that people select to post. Nobody posts pictures of themselves crying, or typically they don't, right?
No, they usually don't.
But
But I mean, it depends. I mean, if it's relevant. I mean, like unfortunately today, did you hear about the Malaysian airliner that was shot down over Ukraine?
oh God, yes, of course.
And God, number one, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and victims that were affected by it. And number two, the Malaysian Airlines just can't catch a break. I mean, it's such a sin. But I mean, like
Would you fly on Malaysia Airlines?
no, but it's just a little ironic that it's happened to them twice.
Well, who knows what happened to the first one? Maybe it did happen twice. I mean, maybe that's specifically what happened. It's all conjecture, but I think the thing that's most tragic about what's going on with this particular event is that unfortunately a lot of very graphic pictures are being published through social media,
Yeah,
and it's a shame because a lot of people, I guess, don't recognize that the pictures are depicting somebody's loved one. It's somebody's husband, somebody's mother, somebody's brother, somebody's, you know, somebody to somebody. You know what I mean?
no,
And
I totally get it, and I mean, I know Jim McMillan, who's a Pulitzer Prize winning photojournalist who lives in Philadelphia. One of
yeah,
the things he, one of the things he, excuse me, one of the things
bless
he
you.
posted was, be aware. He posted on the hashtag saying anything below this, you're probably going to see that, world journalism outlets don't necessarily have the same idea of graphic nature, that,
Mhm.
the avoidance of graphic nature as our country does. And he says, just beware, you're going to see some pretty nasty things,
Well,
so,
and unfortunately, like you're talking about social media, right? So
yeah.
people post things that they don't really think about. They don't realize the impact of what they're posting, and they think maybe they're spreading uh, information. I don't know what they think they're doing, but um, it's just like during the elections when people get into these long-winded political debates. There's certain things that
Mhm.
you just don't want to share.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these pictures that are very graphic in nature, some people don't have the sense not to share them.
Yeah, and I mean, some of them are newsworthy, but I mean, how graphic do you have to get to be newsworthy? I mean,
Well, it was like when Princess Diana died. People were publishing pictures ostensibly, you know, of the accident. So, I guess the lesson is just don't be part
be
of the
aware of
problem.
your, be aware that what you put up there is permanent. Whatever you put online is going to stay up there. Even like Facebook, if you delete something from Facebook, it's not deleted. It's if you think about a hard drive, when you delete something from a hard drive, it's not deleted unless you take a hammer to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
mean, you can still
the the
recover it
study
being written over.
the study that was done previous to this most recent one. So, you're saying this is news now because we just found out that they manipulated the feed. There was a study back in 2011, right?
Uh huh.
Um, where what they said was that Facebook might be doing more harm than good. While we claim that we use the site for social interaction, some social psychologists felt that because you're viewing people at their best, that you tend to believe what you see with your own eyes. And consequently, there was a phrase that was coined called Facebook depression. You
Oh,
know,
sure, I'm sure. Yeah.
so
Especially if you're a lurker. You're not actually, someone who posts good stuff. And you just see what everyone else is doing. I can see how it can get you down. This person got married. This person had a baby. This person had a baby. This person has grandkids. This person has daughter got graduated from school. From college or from high school.
mhm.
I think I covered everyone who I know.
But here's the thing about that too, Seth. You talk about the lurker. Okay,
Yeah.
there are some people that, for whatever reason, just have um, a twisted mental state. I don't know how else to put it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, to that extent, Facebook and some of the other social medias actually give them a platform of picking up information about people that they envy, that you, you know they just thrive on trying to harass and hurt people
The
by
trolls.
creating. Wait, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
I totally know. People love to troll, and it's really
Trolling,
sad.
yes, yes.
And trolls, they're sadistic.
So, and I guess, we hear so much about the NSA, and we hear so much about, psychological value and these experiments. I guess, what was it in Europe where they implemented the new laws where they can actually remove things? You
Oh,
can
don't get me started on that. Don't get me
go
started
ahead,
on
get
how
started on
absurd
it.
that.
Let's. Why? What do you think? Good,
Oh
bad?
my God, the idea of, oh, that person wrote about me, and it's there, it's on the web. They're not taking it down, they're taking out the search results. So I mean, just because it's gone, it's still in the newspaper. I mean, people can still go to the newspaper and find it. It's not gone from the internet. And also, the whole idea of public record. I mean, if you were bankrupt 17 years ago, like the guy who started this whole thing, he went into foreclosure. He wanted this done. He has, by the way, it's not filed to have his information taken down from the Google. He started this whole thing, and he hasn't even done anything about it. So, Mister, I have a bone to pick with you. The thing is that because my issue is there's no what's it called? There's no appeal process. There's no People don't know when their stuff's taken down. Google says they'll alert publishers saying that your stuff has been taken down, but they won't tell you which one has been taken down. They'll post on the bottom of all of the pages on the Google search results in Europe. So this might not be the complete list. There might be stuff taken off of this, and off of this list because of this law. It's a poorly implemented law, and ultimately it's just going to hurt people more than it's going to help people. I mean, it's going to hurt the essence of knowledge. What do you think, Jody?
I think that it's an unfortunate state of affairs when people are allowed to post, or I mean, it's not a matter of being allowed, but people elect to post derogatory information that's patently false about other people, and there's really it causes emotional damage, psychological damage, and the person who is the victim, and I say that because the person, the stuff that's being posted obviously is false, that they have to struggle through things that are misrepresentations. And you would say, well, you know what? Go ahead, file a civil claim. Go ahead and file defamation. But the dilemma with that is if someone has no assets, what are you going to get out of filing defamation?
Exactly. I mean, I totally understand, and I think it's more like I get if it's patently false. But what if it's true? Like this guy in Spain actually went through a foreclosure, and it's
Well, I mean, if
proven.
it's
It's public
true,
record. They're taking on public record stuff, not
public,
not slander.
well, that's, I mean,
There's
to
two
the
different
extent,
things. There's patently false stuff, which you can before this, even in the U.S., you can petition Google to take it down.
right?
Don't quote me
But
on that,
but
but I
Steph,
think you can.
how should it be completely different than, like, if somebody has a record that they can expunge the record, right?
If they can expunge the record legally, let's say they're juveniles and they're in the paper. But the thing about juveniles, you can't report on juveniles anyhow. I'm a former journalist. If a juvenile does something, he says you have to say juvenile, 18-year-old juvenile was detained for this, emergency for this crime. You can't report on juvenile names unless even deaths. It's hard to say these people were killed unless you get written consent or you get approval from the authorities. Now I could be wrong on that, but that's the way I used to cover it. Was
Well,
that
what the sad thing is, Seth, is that you talk about juveniles and that they should be protected. It's unfortunate because some people who are of the age of majority or older are act like juveniles.
I know, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, if they're going to act like a troll, I don't know. But anyway, did you hear about this Facebook testing a buy button?
Yeah, that seems pretty neat. I mean, it also looks right for disaster. I mean, can you imagine these kids racking up their parents' credit card bill on Facebook saying, "Oh, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that." I mean, there's a lawsuit against Apple about this recently. It's saying you made it too easy for our kids to run up our bills. We're suing you. So I don't know how well it's going to be received. I think it's a neat concept, but you can buy stuff from Amazon from Twitter now too, which is interesting. I mean,
Well,
you can put it
I
in your car.
kind of like the availability. Like if you see that your friend has a birthday, I mean, it kind of does make it convenient that you don't even have to leave Facebook.
But that's what they want. They don't
Yeah,
want
I
you to be
know.
Facebook. They want to be the new AOL. With the AOLs in the '90s, that was at the portal. They want
Yeah.
Facebook to be the portal, new portal. Like you don't need the internet is Facebook. I mean, I know plenty of people that I say, hey, you have a website. I can help you out with a website. There, no, our website we have a Facebook page.
And this that's
That is
really
not
a
a website.
foolish stance to take because we all know that if you turn around tomorrow, Facebook is going to do something completely different. I remember we were building out pages for companies, and then they in one day, fell swoop, they were all gone, and it was a different platform we had to do. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, and you know what else? The whole idea of hiding some of the posts, unless you promote it, it's not like it was before they started this edge rank, and I don't know. I mean, I don't see that as being a viable um,
Mm-hmm.
marketing strategy. It's an adjunct to a marketing strategy or an enhancement to a marketing strategy. But I think that if any company is relying on Facebook to be their website, they're in
Mm-hmm.
trouble.
Yeah, I mean, as supplement to their website is fine, but your website is not Facebook. I hate to break it to you. So you
Yeah,
don't
I know,
own
right?
that spot on the web.
Well, here's a funny thing, Seth. Ironically, you would think they added this new buy button, right? And you think, oh, how cool is this? Because now you got mobile and you got the interconnection with events, and you can buy things through Facebook. Guess what happened to Facebook shares today?
What's that?
Guess what happened to Facebook shares? Want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, they fell. They
I
fell
don't
like
like this.
by like a buck and a quarter.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what to think about this. I mean, it's a neat concept. I'd like to see it in action. While I try it, maybe I'll buy something from Facebook once. But I mean, honestly, they're going up against Amazon and Amazon Prime. This is easy to say, oh, I like that on Facebook and go over to Amazon Prime and have it the next day.
So, did you hear about this Facebook Mentions app?
Enlighten me.
What's that?
Enlighten me.
Okay, they released a new iPhone app, right? And it's
Always with the
called,
iPhone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, excuse me, but anyway, this is reported by PC Magazine. So anyway, they come up with this app, and they call it Mentions, and this app is catered specifically for verified public figures, actors, athletes, musicians, government
Oh
officials,
God.
and it lets those people, these celebrities, more easily manage their Facebook presence and engage with fans on the social network. So,
Ooh.
yeah, so it's not for you or for me. So we're not famous enough or popular enough to use this app, but apparently it's only for the celebrities,
Yeah, it's like that Android phone that's like $10,000 because it's made in like titanium or platinum or whatever the heck it is. And
right?
the whole thing that's nice about it is that it's expensive.
Yeah, well, you can if you're the admin of a verified page, you can request it, but
Oh, you have to
not
request it.
likely that you're
Ooh.
gonna get it.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I know, but that's what they're doing.
Yes.
So, and then there was another interesting thing that happened with Facebook. They apparently um, paid the salary for the local police department.
In in Highland
Yeah.
Park,
Yeah, Menlo Park.
Menlo Park. Sorry, yeah, they paid for the whole police department.
No, they are funding the salary of a Mary Ferguson, who's an 8-year veteran of the Menlo Park Police Force. Um, they're putting up $194,000 for her pay and related costs for the next 3 years.
Why are
And
they doing this?
they're doing this because she's going to focus on at-risk youth in the area, and she's going to help businesses plan for emergencies.
Oh, so it's like almost like a grant.
Kinda, yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
kind of cool.
yeah. Apparently, the neighborhood where they moved has a higher crime rate than other parts of the city.
Where
So,
Facebook
and
moved?
what's that?
Where Facebook moved?
Yep. Yes. And so now I guess they're trying to help. For them, that's a drop in the bucket. $200,000. They should buy the whole force, right? But
Yeah.
they're just paying for the this Mary Ferguson. I don't know how she got so lucky. You know.
Probably put in an application for it. It's neat. This is turning into the Facebook episode. Ooh.
Well, what did you want to talk about? Instagram?
Wait, what's this?
What did you want to talk about?
No, I think this is a good. This was a good first show with Jody. I think we can wrap it up. And maybe next week we'll have one next Thursday or something like that with Barry and Jody, and we can go from there. So Jody, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Seth. I'm
Where
glad
can
to be
people
here.
find you online?
Oh, you can um, find me on Twitter as Sunswept, Sunswept, and pretty much everywhere else you can find me as Jody Raines, JodyRaines, or you can find me at my website, which is webmarcom.net.
Very cool. And of course, I'm Seth Goldstein on Twitter, Facebook, Seth M. Goldstein, LinkedIn, I'm Goldstein Media, Google Plus, I'm Plus Seth Goldstein, and Instagram, I'm Philly Codehound. So one of those you can usually find me somewhere else. Reddit, I'm Philly Codehound as well. So look me
And
up.
check out the website.
Check out the website, socialmediaaddicts.com, socialmediaaddictspodcast.com, sorry. I own both, but I only hooked one of them up so far. So check it out. This will be out probably in a day for those who have not watched. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Stop by, say hi, and let's connect.
There you go.